Well, it's cold, it's rainy, it's windy, and did I mention muddy in the backyard today? So we moved inside, and we're going to do something a little different. Seen all kinds of stuff on YouTube, people building their own firearms, and we've decided we're going to see if we can build our own firearm. So we went out to the local vendor and we bought what's called a stripped receiver, lower stripped receiver. This one's by ATI. It's an Omni hybrid, and I'm sure it's plastic, and it's got some kind of metal lining in it. So we'll take it out of the box here and see what we got. You know, if you ever watch YouTube, you got to have a big knife to open the package. So we found the biggest knife we had handy, and we'll dig in there, open this package up. Shouldn't be too complicated. Nowadays, apparently, all of these parts are manufactured to a specific tolerance, and the idea is that everybody adheres to that tolerance, and all of the parts should be interchangeable. So this particular receiver, we're going to build one of these AR-15s, and like I said, it's plastic, polymer they call it. A pretty nice finish on it, and it's got this metal threaded insert here where the I guess you call it the buttstock, or I guess they call it a buffer tube, whatever, screws in there. It's supposed to reinforce it. A lot of people complain about these polymer receivers that they tend to fracture in this area, so a lot of the people have reinforced them. But you know, the revenuers, the people that govern these kinds of things, they consider this a firearm. This piece right here, this is a firearm. Even though there's no trigger, there's no barrel, there's no ammunition, there's nothing. This is the firearm, and it comes with a serial number, and you got to go to an FFL dealer and go through a background check to get one. Now, there are some people out there apparently that make something just like this, only it's a paperweight or a weight for your fishing line, and it doesn't have all of this machine work done. It's just a solid block of metal or plastic, whatever. And what they've done, they've figured out how to machine all that out of there and make it into a piece just like this. So it's a couple of different ways to get there, but this is what we're going to do. What we're going to have to do is order up some parts. They sell a kit that goes in here with trigger and springs and hammer and a bunch of pins and whatnot, lever for here, and there's all kinds of instructions on YouTube on how to put the stuff in there. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to order up some parts from 2 or 3 different places, and we're going to see if they all fit together and make something that goes bang. It's not something we normally do. We don't know the first thing about firearms, but it's going to be interesting to see if we can make one here in the backyard. Now, the interesting thing is, they give you this little bag in the package. It's got 4 little teeny tiny set screws in there, Allen screws, and there's no instructions. There's nothing in the package to tell you what to do with those little set screws or where they go. So we'll have to figure that out. I don't see, to be honest with you, in this piece, whatever you want to call it, any place where there are threaded holes other than this one where the grip goes on to put those screws. So We're going to have to try to figure that out. But that's half the fun, isn't it? Well, a guy in a big truck just delivered another box. We got our big knife. Got to have a big knife in order to open packages. So we'll see what came today. Oh, it's a box inside a box. How about that? Okay, well, we got a box inside a box. It says stop. Huh, the seal is broken or damaged. Yeah, well, good thing we got our big knife. We'll fix that. And what do we get? Well, looks like part of a rifle. This is what's known as an upper. An AR-15 upper. Interesting piece. Looks nice. Classic handguard. 5.56, 1 1/8 twist. Got a flash hider on the end. This is from a state where they have palmetto bugs, and I don't know, maybe the palmetto bug is the state bug or something. I don't know. Got the charging handle, forward assist. Looks pretty good. Dust cover. Got a Pickaninny rail there on the top. And apparently what happens when you have this piece and you put it together, that piece goes there and there with a couple of pins, and then you can make something out of it. So we'll have to see what happens when the rest of the parts come, and see if we can make something out of this mess. Looks nice though. Nice finish. Got a bayonet, or not a bayonet, but a sling mount. I suppose that might be a bayonet mount there. I don't know why you'd want a bayonet on one of these, but who knows? People put all kinds of things on these things. Okay then. Well, I think we've got all the bits and pieces for our project in here finally from all the different places. This one is the magazine. Carries all the bullets. We got one with a window in it. Made in Taiwan, like most everything. Get our big knife. We'll get in there with our big knife and open that up, maybe. Maybe. There we go. Plastic, like everything else. Holds 30. 5.56 by 45. Yeah. And we know that this goes in here. Well, it's supposed to anyway. There we go. It goes like that, I guess. Ah, yeah. Goes like that. And there's a catch that goes in here. That catches in there. So hopefully that catch is in our other pile of stuff. Well, there you go. That's a magazine. We also got this little box of stuff. This is
a little package of assorted punches, pin punches, and the thing that's unique about them, some of them anyway, have a hole in the end so that you can put a roll pin in there and start the roll pin, get it nice and straight, tap it into place, and there's several different sizes of those. And then these other punches have a little, they all have holes in them, I guess. They're all for different size roll pins. This one's just a little blunt edge punch. Most likely it's got a little lead on it there for tapping the pin in once you get it started. So we've got those. We also managed to figure out, we think, where these little set screws go. And what we think is that they go in these holes right here to hold the pins in, keep the pins from coming out once you get the whole thing put together. So we'll see how that works. Then we got this big package of stuff. We definitely need our big knife to open that up. Maybe not. It says pull open. We'll try that. Just use our big finger instead of our big knife. So in here, we've got a whole pile of stuff. 2 piles of stuff. And this first pile of stuff is all of the parts. Move this one out of the way. This is supposedly all of the parts and pieces that go in here. We'll have to get into that a little bit later and see what we have. Best thing to do is get a little magnetic tray and put everything in the magnetic tray and keep it from flying all over the place, because a lot of little bitty pieces. We pretty much got that figured out. That's got to be the grip that goes here somehow. Doesn't look like it wants to fit too well. Oh, there it is. Yeah, there it is. Goes on there like that. And there's a screw that goes up inside. I think there's something else that goes in here first. Some kind of a little detent and spring goes in there first. And now you got something to hold on to. We got a trigger in there. We got a hammer. We got pins. We got springs, we got all kinds of stuff in there. This package is all the stuff that goes on the end, the buttstock or the buffer tube or whatever you want to call it. This is the big part, the adjustable stock that goes on there, and there's a tube screws in there, and a spring, and a bunch of other stuff. And then this is adjustable in and out. So, got a place here for a sling, if you want to put a sling on there. This is, must be how you, it's got a little pin in there, and you pull that and then slide your stock back and forth. So what we're going to do is we're going to put all this together. We're not going to show you the intricate details of putting it together. I'm not sure what YouTube allows and what they don't allow. So there's plenty of videos on YouTube that show you how to put this piece in there and put that pin in there and put this and do that. So if you want to know how to do that, you can go watch one of those. What we're going to do is we're going to put this together, or try to put it together, and then we'll come back and show you whether it works or not. And that'll be next. Well, it's been a long evening. When you don't know what you don't know, it makes it tricky sometimes. But we finally managed to make something that looks like a firearm. And it's pretty cool, actually. We don't know if it's going to work or not because we don't have any projectiles to put in this thing. And apparently they're hard to find. But we can work the action. And pull the trigger, and that works. So it's really not easy. Really not easy. There's a couple little springs and detents. There's one of the little springs that I haven't put in yet because the little detent finally flew across the room for the last time and I can't figure out where it is, so I've got to get another detent. These little takeout springs, takeout pin springs and detent, especially this front one, is a nightmare. And you better have extra because they come out of there like they're shot out of a cannon. And they bounce around all over the room, and if you're lucky, you can find them. I did come across a trick. There's tricks to everything. This front takeout pin, it's just in there now without the detent. You get a hitch pin. You can find that on YouTube University, but you get a hitch pin. What you got to do is push this little spring down in the hole, and then there's a little tiny detent goes on top of that. And if you use the hitch pin, you can use that to guide everything in place. And then you take a little punch and push down on that and turn the hitch pin. And that keeps everything from flying out. And then you got to sneak up with the other pin, sneak it in there and push the other one out. But that's better than what I was doing. And like I said, I finally had the thing fly across the room for the last time. So, bottom line is that if you're halfway switched on, you can build your own firearm. It's amazing that all these parts and pieces, the stock, the magazine, the lower receiver, the upper receiver, all came from different places. And they all fit together and function. That's interesting. So we get a chance to get some projectiles. I guess the best thing to do is tie it to a tree and tie a rope around the trigger and stand back. See if it goes bang. I don't think we'll have to do that, but probably the best idea. Anyway, that's it. That's it for this project. Get my other order of little pins and springs in. I'll put that front pin in. It's just a 1/4-inch hole. I was just going to put a 1/4-inch bolt in there with a nut on it. Who gives a rat's patootie, you know what I mean? But we'll do it right. We'll put the spring and the detent in there and do it right. Well, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again.